The Alabama gang tradition continues. Davey Allison leading here again at Daytona. Time running out. Morgan Shepherd out of Conover, North Carolina, closing down another time. One, maybe a car and a half length separates the two. Last lap at about 189 miles an hour.
And running in third, quite a distance behind them, is Alan Kowicki and Jeff Bodine. Running third and fourth, and Dick Trickle still in fifth. Just 5 cars now in the lead lap.
And now sliding back through the field is Michael Waltrip after his valiant effort out here today. Kyle Petty is 6th. Labonte is 7th. Musgrave, terrific afternoon, is in 8th. 9th is Earnhardt. 10th is Phil Parsons. 11th is Baker. 12th is Harry Gant, and 13th is Rick Mast.
Ken, we were just looking at Robert Yates. He's the guy that owns the race team Davey drives for, but he also builds engines. They can build them to go 500 miles, 550, and sometimes 600. They all know the fuses are about worn out on these things, and Yates is probably sweating these last few laps out.
Well, it'll be the white flag when they come around the next time.
Show and tell as we're ready to do some racing now.
Davey Allison draws away by 3 car lengths for the moment. Around Dave Marcus in the 71. Morgan Shepherd closes ground another time. But Davey Allison draws away in turn 3.
I believe Morgan backed off just a little bit. He wants to see how much of a running start he can get.
Yeah, you've got to test every part of it. He needs to see if he can make that run, and he's able to close it up right now.
Back to the stripe, white flag, and 1 lap to go to decide the Daytona 500. Davey Allison in front and Morgan Shepherd in second. Shepherd stays right there. He's closed it all the way down. Robert Yates looks on. Davey Allison's mentor.
Okay, he's backed off a little again to see how much momentum he can get. He tried it the last time around. He was able to pull right back up on his bumper. Timing is everything now, Neil.
That gap right there should pay off at the end of the back straightaway if he's got the momentum to do it.
Around Michael Waltrip's car. Down for the finish. Going into turn 3. Mike?
Glenwood, can he do it? I don't think so. He's pretty strong. It's just up to Morgan how he gets in the turn with him.
Here they come. Morgan down to the line. Davey Allison first. Morgan Shepherd gets it all back there. Has he got anything left? Coming to the stripe. Morgan comes to the inside, and Davey Allison is going to win the Daytona 500. The Alabama gang has done it again. The son of a great champion at this track, Bobby Allison. Davey Allison victorious in the 34th annual Daytona 500. 14th career win for Davey Allison. Comes in the one race that means the most. Davey Allison has said that the greatest moment in his career was when he finished second to his dad here in 1988. He won 11 races since then, and he's always said that was the finest moment. Perhaps this equals that moment. 135,000 people standing in the infield in all these 97,000 plus seats outside, ready to give an ovation to Allison, the new member of the Alabama gang. Neil, he sure looked good today.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm glad to see him run like this. It's been a good day for me in racing to see the Wood brothers run as well as they did, and boy, Davey really brought it home today.
So here's Davey Allison's car rolling down for the most important victory that it has ever scored, Ned.
No question about that. This is, as has been said so many times, the Super Bowl of NASCAR Winston Cup racing. Almost $2.5 million in prize money. Wow.
They've asked him to compare his driving style with his father, and he has said, I really don't classify my driving style. I don't know. I guess it'd be easier to observe from the outside than the inside. But he sure looked like him today.
All right. After you. After you, I'll go. Well, congratulations, Dave. You look like you got a lot of strength left holding the family here.
Well, I tell you what, Chris, you know, with a win like this, it sure puts the adrenaline in your blood veins. You know, I think in about 30 minutes I'll probably collapse from disbelief. But I got 2 nice kids, 2 great kids, and a great wife over here. And it's just been a great day for us.
Tell me about those last few laps. How much time did you spend looking in the mirror?
I spent about 90% of each lap. But Chris, I spent about 90% of each lap looking in the mirror trying to figure out where Morgan was going to go. But, you know, their car ran strong. We finished second to them. with Dale Jarrett driving that car up at Michigan last year, so this turnabout's fair play.
Well, Davey, thank you very much, and that's it from Daytona Beach, Florida.
I am shaking all over. I cannot believe this. This is unbelievable. This has been a dream of mine since I was a little kid. And we've been down here several times with the fastest car and haven't been able to win. And then all of a sudden, things just went our way today. I can't say anything more. You know, I watched Morgan. I tried to make sure I didn't give him room to go anywhere. I didn't do anything out of line or crazy. I just stayed where he needed to be, and he couldn't get alongside of us. We won the race. Tomorrow I'll probably realize it more than I do right now.
For the third straight year, the Daytona 500 had a first-time winner in Davey Allison. It was also only the second time in history that a second-generation driver had won the prestigious race, as the Allisons joined Richard and Lee Petty in the record book. And Larry, you and your Robert Yates team won the race by 2 car lengths. When it was over, were there any scary moments over the final few laps?
Earlier in the week, during practice, one of the team members' radio and headset took missing. We tore that garage apart, tore the truck apart. We looked everywhere trying to find this radio and headset that took missing. Finally, we just said, we don't know what's happened to it. Whether it was a fan, somebody in the infield that had that radio and headset, and they decided to communicate with us during these final laps. And he was just, whoever had it, it was a he, was saying things like, you better get going. Here he comes. You better get after this. Like, oh, no, this can't be. But fortunately, after there was no response on my part, no response on Davey's part, the guy realized he wasn't doing anything to us.
Looking back now, when you know of your roots on the short tracks in Alabama and Davey's roots in the short tracks in Alabama, that had to have been a special Alabama gang victory lane.
In the mid to late 70s, my first trip to Daytona, the way that I got in to see the Daytona 500 is I drove down there with my aunt and uncle in a pickup truck and a camper. And we didn't have tickets. We got down there, and how we got our tickets is on Sunday morning at 6 a.m. they had 5,000 seats that were going to go on sale. And I stayed in a line from 8 o'clock Saturday night to 6 o'clock Sunday morning with a lawn chair, slept in that lawn chair to get tickets to go in and see my first Daytona 500. And to know that about 17 or 18 years later, here I am, a winning crew chief for the Daytona 500, it's something I know that I'll treasure for the rest of my racing career and for the rest of my life.
Challenger Alan Kulwicki would also make it through that lap 92 wreck to finish 4th, despite going through the grass to avoid disaster, while the King, Richard Petty, closed out his illustrious Daytona 500 career at the Daytona International Speedway with a 16th place finish. Larry, thanks for joining me and our look back at the 1992 Daytona 500. For NASCAR Classics, I'm Matt Yoakum. Thanks for watching.
Pace car is in, and we're ready to go green. California, Hicks, he's into Elliott, they're sliding, trying to correct, pick them up, into the wall goes Sterling Marlin, and the leaders are all in trouble here. Right, Morgan comes to the inside, and Davey Allison is going to win the Daytona 500.